What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of Days of Our Lives. I enjoyed this episode. Listen, I freaking love Paulina. I love Paulina. Paulina is me. Like the way she says shit, like she's very blunt and to the point, and I love it. Cause she basically told Chanel, like, listen, all you need to choose is which one do you prefer most, penis or vagina. I totally agree. I'm like, listen, it ain't that hard of a decision to make. You want the dick or you want the pussy? Which one do you want? Chanel was so shocked, like her jaw was just on the floor. She was looking at her mama like, I cannot believe you just said that. And she was like, first of all, it's not about their equipment. I'm like, yeah, not all of it is about the equipment, but it's a big part of it. I'm just saying, for pleasure. But she decided to, instead of doing a list of pros and cons, Chanel decided to do a list of pros. So she named all of Johnny's pros. She named all of Allie's pros. And, Paulina could tell. She was like, yeah, you in love with both of them, but whichever one gets you is very lucky. You know what I'm saying? And I totally agree. I totally agree with Paulina on that. Whichever one of them get her is a lucky person. Um, Meanwhile, at the square, Allie and Johnny were acting so childish. Like they were acting like children. Even though that scene was hilarious though, they were acting like little ass kids. Like Tony was looking at them like, okay, good luck with that, and I'm staying out of it. Cause Tony was like, listen, I'm not picking no sides. Like, I'm out of it. So he went in there to go get some cookies or whatever, and Steve comes up. So they bickering back and forth when Steve come up trying to convince him which pie to get, the cherry or the peach or whatever. And Steve was like, okay. Steve was acting the same way Tony was. He was like, listen, I'm just gonna go in and get me some cookies. Steve was like, I don't want no parts. Um, so then Allie throws a pie in Johnny's face and Johnny throw a pie in her face. They were just acting like children. And they both get a text from Chanel basically telling them she made her choice and that they're gonna head over to her place. I would hope that y'all gonna go change and get get all that pie off y'all before y'all go over there looking like fools. But yeah, they act so childish. If it, in my honest opinion, I feel like Chanel should not choose either one of them because I just feel like they both come with baggage. Don't get me wrong, they got their good qualities, but I mean, Johnny already talking about marriage. Like he want to marry her again. And I just feel like neither one are really ready for a real committed relationship. Look how childish they're acting. They got some growing to do. Um, Not only that, but they treat Chanel like this is the fucking Bachelor or the Bachelorette. Like this is some competition to win instead of treating it how it should be treated. Like this is your lives. This is the rest of your life. Like this is a person that you want to be with forever. Even though in daytime it ain't no such thing as forever. But this is a person that y'all want to be with, and live life with, but y'all treating it like it's some trophy to be won. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like no, they need to grow up. She shouldn't choose either one of them. Allie needs to focus on her business. She need to focus on her child. Um, at the end of the day, like I said, I wouldn't choose neither one of their asses because no. But I am curious to see what decision she came up with though. Because they kept pressuring her to make a decision, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I wouldn't choose either one. So anyway, moving on from that, I have to agree with Tony. I agree with Tony so much today. EJ was acting like such a dickhead. Like he was such an asshole to Chad. Now I understand he angry with Chad because he had to go to prison because of Chad and stuff like that. I get it. And I understand he wants retribution, but I totally agree with Tony. Now is not the time for this. Like that man just lost his wife. His wife was murdered. And now he has to deal with that. He has to find out who did it. He has to care for his children. Be there for their emotional well being. And on top of not only EJ wanting his Demira stock, he also wants um Chad out of the mansion. I'm like, EJ, you gonna kick this man out? Him and his children just went through a lot. And you mean tell me right now is the time that you want to kick him out? And EJ gonna sit there, oh, the kids can stay, but you gotta go. I agree with Chad. I'm like, why the hell would I move out but leave my kids here with you? What sense does that make? EJ is such a dickhead. I'm all for revenge and retribution, but even I would pause the retribution for right now. Even I would do that. Like, come on now. This man, his wife was murdered. Like, I would take that into consideration. But like, all right, I save my revenge for, another time, but not right now, at the very least. And, Tony had to try to talk some sense in EJ. He was like, listen, even our father, even Stefano was devious, but even when the family was down, he would never kick the family while they were down. Like when they were going through such things, he was like, Stefano was all about family. Yeah, he would get revenge on you, but he wouldn't do it at your most down moment, like when you lose a spouse or, like when you're going through a lot. He wouldn't try to add more onto it. He would at least embrace you. You know what I'm saying? He was like, damn. So, that got EJ to relax for a little minute. And, EJ told Chad, nah, I don't want you to leave. Because Chad, pretty much came in and threw down his stock certificates and was like, here, my shares of Demira are now yours. Because Kate already handed EJ hers. So he decided, you know what, I am going to move out the mansion. Because he was like, this is not my home anymore. Especially without Abigail being here. It's, and plus that's the house where she was killed. So I totally understand it. Like, why he wouldn't want to live there no more. But, EJ need to calm his little self down. Like, stop being a little ass. So, anyway, Kate goes over to Demira Enterprises to try to warn Gabi that EJ's coming for her. Like, he's trying to get that CEO chair back. And, Gabi she tried to brush it off like she ain't worried about it. Like, I don't give a damn. She was like, I'm not worried about EJ. If I was an investor of Demira Enterprises, I'm sorry, but I would not invest in Demira Enterprises because they change CEOs like people change drawers. I'm just saying, like that turnover rate, that would be enough to scare me away. Like, there's no way I'm about to put millions of my dollars in hopes of a return in a company that doesn't have a stable CEO. That's just not something that I feel comfortable in doing. So Gabi ended up getting a call from Rafe about Jake. Like, she found out Jake died and stuff, and she told Kate about it, and they were hugging and embracing each other because she knows how much Kate cared about Jake as well. I love the scene though with Paulina and Kate where they was sitting down together and they were toasting to Jake and stuff like that. Gabi, her um her mourning period for Jake lasted all of 2 seconds. She grieved that man for 2 seconds because Ava was at the hospital. Kayla done took Ava to go see Jake's body and stuff like that. And, Jake's ghost pretty much was talking to Ava or whatever. And she was pissed at Jake for arguing with the mugger and not giving the mugger the ring and all that type of stuff. And she was like, I could have replaced the ring, but now I can't replace you. So they were talking. He was just telling her, you're going to know what to do next and stuff like that. So Gabi comes busting up and through, talking about, oh, what did you do to Jake and stuff like that, acting on Gabi. So she pretty much told Gabi about the ring and the mugger and stuff like that. And, Gabi was remorseful. But her remorse literally only lasted 2 seconds because now she gets immediately down to business. She was like, what about Jake's Demira stock? Ava was like, bitch, are you serious? She said, this man is laying here on a slab, just died today, and you worried about his stocks in the company? And Gabi was like, yeah. She was like, shit, I gotta keep my job. She said, no disrespect to the dead, but I gotta keep my job, though. Because she was like, as Jake's widow or whatever, you would be entitled to the shares. But my thing is, would that work in court? Like, if they took this to court over his shares, because I don't know if Jake had a will or not, but she technically wasn't his widow because they just got engaged 5 seconds before he died. So it's like, how would that play out in court? A judge would have to decide if Jake would have given his shares to Ava or to EJ or whoever. But I'm pretty sure it'll probably work in Ava's favor because all they gotta do is testify that Jake and EJ couldn't stand each other. So there's no way he would have gave up those stocks. But I ain't mad at I can't even really be mad at Gabi, because at the end of the day, she said, "Listen, I got to keep my job. No disrespect to the deceased, but business is business right now. Life keeps moving. I got to keep moving with it. I need my, I need my stock. I got to keep my shit." It might seem cold blooded. Her and EJ was just cold blooded as hell today. Like they both was on some dickhead stuff. I can't even lie. Like both were just plain old assholes today. They was just all about what they wanted. And that's messed up. People going through so much and this is all y'all care about is some stock and some damn get you out of my house type shit. Like, come on now. That is so messed up. Um but anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought about it, and I will see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.